another victory.
That I'm king, but they are saying I've only killed thousands.
David was confused and upset. He had served King Saul loyally, but now realised that his life was in jeopardy. So he and his loyal friend Jonathan made a plan to find out what Saul's intentions were. King Saul was holding a feast and expected everyone to attend, but David decided not to go. This would be a test of Saul's anger. David would hide in the field for 3 days until Jonathan could come and let him know whether it was safe to return to the palace or not. The two friends agreed to the plan, and Jonathan sat at the feast with King Saul.
This food is delicious. It's such an honour to be invited to the feast.
Yes, it is, but did you notice that David's seat is empty? I know, I kind of imagine Saul would be very happy about that.
He hasn't said anything yet though. Hopefully David shows up tomorrow.
So he's missing out on some great food.
On the first day of the feast, Saul said nothing, but on the second day he asked Jonathan about David's empty
Jonathan,
seat.
why isn't David bothering to come to the feast? He wasn't here yesterday either.
David earnestly asked permission to go to Bethlehem to enjoy the annual sacrifice there with his family.
You fool! I know you've made some kind of friendship with David. Can't you see if David is dead? Then nothing stops you from being king.
It is God who has chosen David to be king. What has David done? Why should we kill him?
You traitor!
In his anger, King Saul had thrown the javelin at his own son. Now there could be no doubt about his attitude to David. He saw him as his enemy. In contrast, Jonathan had the faith to see God's purpose in anointing David to be the next king, and he submitted in faith to God's will. He went out to the field to speak to his friend David for the last time.
Here is your bow and arrows, my lord. Make speed, haste. Is not the arrow beyond thee? Take these back to the palace. My father has gone mad, David. He threw a javelin at me and called me a traitor.
Then I must go.
Your friendship has meant a great deal to me, David. Promise me that you will always look after my family, whatever happens to us.
I promise. May Yahweh be between you and me and my seed and your seed forever.
Jonathan returned to the city, but David fled. Saul had really gone mad and was determined to kill David. He hunted him all over the countryside, sending out spies and doing his best to catch him. But of course Yahweh was with David and had promised that he would be the next king. One of the spies told Saul that David was in the wilderness of En-gedi, so Saul took 3,000 men and went to find him.
This looks like a good place to rest. I think we'll stay here for a while.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. We'll stand and watch out here.
Lord, David, you're hardly going to believe this, but there's King Saul right here in this very cave.
He's resting. Keep quiet, everyone. Move right out to the back. We don't know whether he's resting or if he's found us out.
Yes, David, this is providence. God has delivered him right into your hands.
Absolutely, it's providential.
Go on, David.
All right, I'll come with you if you want.
Me too.
No, stay here. Look, men, I shouldn't even have done this. No matter what we think of him, Saul is God's anointed and we shouldn't harm him. Look, King Saul, here's David who we've been searching for.
Why do you listen to men who say that I'm trying to harm you? Today God gave me the opportunity to kill you, but I will not hurt Yahweh's anointed. Look, I have a piece of your robe here. I cut it off while you were asleep. I could have killed you, but I didn't. May Yahweh judge between us and deliver me out of your hand, but I will never kill you.
David, my son, you are more righteous than I. You have rewarded me good, whereas I have rewarded you evil. I know that you will be king, and that God will give you the kingdom. Promise me that you will not kill my family when you become king.
I promise, my Lord, I will never do that.
So Saul and his army returned home, but David and his men remained in hiding. David knew that Saul would soon forget this kindness and try to kill him again. We read that once again the Philistines were fighting against Israel, but this time the men of Israel fled before them, and many of them were slain in Mount Gilboa. Faithful Jonathan, who was a very brave soldier, was slain in this battle. 2 of Saul's other sons were also killed, and Saul, the king of Israel, died too. When David heard of this, he took hold of his clothes and rent them, and